Well, how's it going, you rapscallion, glorious bastards? The name's FOXSOL. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to some Wuthering Waves right here on the channel. I hope you guys are having a good one. I'm doing pretty damn well. I haven't had no sleep in the last, I would say, almost 24 hours, and I'm high on a 5-hour energy drink right now, and I just finished doing my work, and I decided, you know what, I wanted to record. And guess what, boys and girls? Let's see how this video is going to go. Well, in any case scenario, today's video is going to be basically how we support our DPS. How do we make our team even more optimal, even more OP than what it is, to help benefit our DPS and make that DPS really shine. So let's get into it. We're gonna go ahead and teleport over here real quick, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pretty much explain a little bit, you know, what my thought pattern is. Now, what I'm about to basically explain, what I'm about to talk about, may not benefit you. It may not be the most optimal type build there is, but man, it works really fucking well for me, and I have no issues with it. And you know, I want to state before we actually really get into this video, this is a little bit of a disclaimer, okay? Because I do respect some people who have been putting some comments on my videos that there is some people out there that just doesn't call me, you know, oh, you're fucking retarded and that's it. Like, they legitimately are trying to help, you know, me understand different perspectives. And I'm not a closed-minded person as some people might think I am. So if you do have, you know, a better idea or a better type of build and stuff like this, by all means, we do live streams on the channel. Hit that notification, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification, come check out the live streams, come talk to me live, come tell me your thoughts, leave comments down below, tell me, you know, criticize me. I don't mind it. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a debate. Let's discuss this, because it's the only real way, in my personal opinion, as adults, as gamers, as people, that it's best to always get the perspective of another player to legitimately understand what they're thinking. Because in some cases, I'll just say it like this, in some cases, your perspective may change because someone else explains their thought pattern. It's happened to me multiple times to where, you know what, I was dead set on something, and then someone explains to me and they show me things. I say, you know what, you're right. And it changes my perspective, or it changes the way, you know, it doesn't change everything. It just changes some of the things I do. And that's what I like about actually building, you know, working in communities, working with friends, working with people who have different thoughts, because these are my best friends. People who disagree with me are always going to be my best friend there ever was. So in any case scenario, we're just gonna go fight ourselves an Infernal Rider real quick. Why? Because I want to showcase something, and I'm going to explain the reason why afterwards. But as you can see, we're playing Jinshi. We're going to go ahead and we're going to swap out to Mortify here. And yes, I'm going to call him Mortify because that is what I'm going to call him. And you're going to notice some things that probably look a little weird. And like I said, there might not be the most it might not be the best way of building a character, but like, we're doing 4K healing. We got, you know, we're basically trying with Mortify right now to get our ult going. That is the entire goal here. We got energy regen built out the ass on this son of a bitch just to get our ult going. So that way, when we bring in Genshi, we can build up incandescence. And I find that this works really well. Like, I had no issues. There might be a better way of doing it. I don't know. But this has been working extremely well for me. We're gonna bring in Bai Chi. We're gonna get her to come in. We're basically just gonna be spam swapping between these two, build up our energy reserve like that.
Stay vigilant.
Do this. Get my heal going. Bring in Jinshi. Over 200k damage on our ult. And we probably could do a lot better on that future wise, but we're doing close right now to 200k on our, not ult damage, but our resonant skill damage on the Stellar Glamour. Now, what you probably may have missed, or which you may not understand, is that I have my supportive class with Mortify being pretty much a spam hungry energy regen, and I'm still rebuilding him right now to go ahead and make that energy regen pop because I want him to be on the screen for a few seconds and do basically a few attacks, go to alt. I want Bai Chi to be healing at 4K. And you're going to see something here, which is this has been a testing that I've been doing, and it's been working really well for me. Which is you're going to notice stat wise, I got 32,000 HP on Bai. Okay. Energy regen is not exactly where I want it at, but it's doing fine for what the purpose of it is, which is 162 for energy regen. Crit rate, crit damage, and attack is complete garbage, in my personal opinion, but I don't care. That is not the point of what she is there. She is just for me to get 4K healing, which the echoes complement that. And we're doing a 4-4-1-1-1 set on her. And you'll notice that we have two bosses on here, which both have healing bonus, which allows me to have both additionally 26.4%. I don't care about none of the rest of the stats. All I care about healing. I'm even thinking about replacing probably, you know, these three right here and put another 4 and just make it a 4-4-4 just for the healing bonus to increase the healing as high as I possibly can. That is another thought pattern that's going on in my head right now. Not sure if I want to do it because I feel like I would be sacrificing, you know, the 50-50 rejuvenating healing and moonlit clouds, which allows for additional healing and additional energy regen on the character. So I feel like this is actually a better build style that I'm doing. All the rest is based on HP because the percentage on her with us right now, we have it in her resonance chain, I believe it is. There's one in here, you know, where or actually her skills, where one of her skills under the 40, I don't know exactly where it's at, but she heals off of a percentage of what her health is. So if her health's high, it's an additional percentage that, you know, heals the character as well. So that's why we got her so much like the tank. And I thought about this and I was working with this with Mortify, okay, or Mortify, to where all I want Mortify to do is come on the screen. He's got 222, and I want to try to get an energy regen as higher than that, to be honest. I want to see what happens. I want to see if we can get that to like 250 and make that shit really pop. All I want him to do is to come in on the screen, pop out that energy regen, pop out for that kinetic energy to go ahead and swap the characters to give, you know, his buff of heavy attack damage as well as, you know, his alt on top of Genshi. And this would work for like other DPSs in a sense. Like this would work tremendously well for someone like GN to where you could always have additional heavy damage. And because he benefits from it. Again, we're doing a 50-50 split. This one, well, this one it's a different. This one we're doing a 4-3-3-1-1. And as you can see, this one needs to be replaced. I don't know how I'm going to replace it, but I don't think crit rate fucking matters. The only reason why I have this one on here is because it has a 6.8% energy regen. But you'll see that, you know, my dinosaurs got energy regen. My fucking birds got energy regen. And both of these are not even fully maxed out right now. And they're doing 26 right now and 25% additional energy regen. And then I'm putting everything else into HP so that way the motherfucker can take a hit. Because I'm not worried about at this time working on leveling him up to level 90. I can do it, but I don't want to do it because I'm saving all the fire resource, all the fusion resources right now for Chang Ling when she comes in. After she comes in, then I'm going to work on him to get him, you know, leveled up to everyone else. But he's fine staying at 80 where everyone else is still where my main DPS and my other support right now is at 90. What I'm suggesting here is that when it comes down to your supportive characters, they don't need to be dealing damage. They don't need to be working except just to survive. They're just another asset. Like I look at supports. I look at Mortify right here. I look at Bai Chi right here as both two characters that is just an additional artifact. They're both echoes in a sense. They're just buffs. Their job is to come on the screen. Her job is to heal my main DPS, make sure my main DPS stays alive. His job is to pop his ult so that way I can build up the incandescence a little bit faster because, you know, with Jinshi, when it comes down to it, I believe, I could be mistaken about this, but I'm going to double check this real quick, that when it comes into the incandescence, you know, each party member gains arrows and unity, which provides. So Genshi gains 1 incandescent anytime a resonator in the party inflicts attribute damage. So when she's on there, she's providing attribute damage with his all on top of her. That's providing attribute damage, and the effect may be triggered with damage of the same attribute up to 1 times every 3 seconds. So every 3 seconds, he's providing an attribute, she's providing an attribute, his ult is on top of her providing fusion damage. That's why I think Yinlin would work as well, but I got Yinlin with Cal. Let that be. Let them stay over there. Let them have fun. Let them go party all night fucking long for all I care. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this, like I said, the character, his weapon, it doesn't do damage. All it's there for is just to build the Conetro energy. It's to build the energy regen. It is to make it to where I want this character when he comes in, that he's trying to be on the screen less than 10 seconds. And I'm trying to make it as optimal as possible to try to make it to where he stays on the screen less than 5 seconds. And his job is just to be part of the rotation, to keep hitting alt, pop in Jinshi, hit alt, pop in Jinshi. Jinshi will pop him back in or rotate back to Bai, and then you see the chain. Basically, come on screen, we fight. Come on screen, you heal, you pop. We come in, you pop your alt, we revert. And we keep going into a rotational loop over and over. Now, sometimes I fuck this entire shit up because, you know what? I just have spam heavy, crazy. I don't want to be, you know, particularly the god that knows everything. I don't want to be that person. I'm a lazy son of a bitch. And I think a lot of players are like me in this sense. You're a lazy son of a bitch and you just want to make it to where it's easy on you. And I feel like this is actually very well working. We've completed a tower of adversity because of this, to where I am just putting as much buffs, as much, you know, healing onto my main DPS to make my main DPS as powerful as possible, along with her own build, with her own ecosystem, with what she's doing on her own. It just makes more sense that, you know, Mortifi could be a level 70 as long as he can take a hit and he can pop out his outro skill and he can pop out his ult. That's all I care about. I don't care if he does damage. The only thing I care about Bai Chi, again, same principle. I care about you going ahead and having energy regen to pop out, you know, your outro skill, and to as well pop out, you know, your ult, and as well as to pop out your skill and just heal for 4K. Because, you know, even with her outro skill, you know, heals the incoming resonator by 1.4. That's where it's at right here. 1.54% of Bazil's max HP every 3 seconds for 30 seconds. The heal resonator has their damage amplified for 15% for the next 6 seconds. So I got 6 seconds to go ahead and pop out everything I can with my DPS. Wow. It's not complicated in my personal opinion. Heck, even within my secondary team, you know, this is where it all came involved. This is where the idea was, is because we're going to deploy this team. You'll see that, you know, with GN, right? This is the character class right here. I'm rebuilding how he works right now. I'm doing a 50-50 build still, and I'm testing out a couple of different things right now. Not sure how I like in this right now, but it's doing so far so good. There's some more optimization I can do with the echoes, but this is where the build idea came from. Was because originally Jinshi here, my monk girl, the girl that I fucking want more dupes of, that the game says, no, you can't have, because you can see, compared to everyone else, she has nothing. She's only been summoned one time, and I've never summoned her again, and it upsets me. I'm going to be honest. It just really upsets me. But going back into this, with the Echo build that I'm doing on her, it is a 4-4-1-1-1 set. And this is not at all, from what I understand, the optimal fucking build whatsoever. But I wanted to make a tank. Pretty much. She's at 26,000. And I'm working on making this tank even better if I possibly can. Again, When it comes to her, she pops a shield and she heals. I have both of these that raw stat wise. I don't care about the substats. One time, one loop with her and doing I forgot what the move is called, but where she's doing her twirl around to make the shield. After that's done and we produce the shield, we're healing off that shield like 2,000 every like 3 or 6 seconds, like consistently with a massive shield that's almost half my life bar. Again, she was at level 70. I just recently put her up to level 80. She was the lowest on the stat, and all I wanted from her was just to be an additional support healer on the team. So this is where the idea came in from, whereas, well, let's just make her a fucking tank, you know? Let's put HP, defense, and HP on the character, and let's just throw her in there. And that way she could be level 70 while I'm level 90. Originally, she was level 60 when we were level 80. And it's just like that way she could just take a hit from a holographic boss. That way she could take a hit from, you know, a level 100 enemy in Tower Adversity. And it worked really well. It worked amazingly. And this is where I started saying, well, you know what? What if I just make the supports, you know, that I have, like even Tao, like this, I haven't done anything really with her. I haven't done anything. The only thing I wanted from her was to add an additional shield on top of Genshi while she's doing her shit. So that way, you know, she stays alive. So like the rotational period on this is that GN comes in, GN tries to get with his stuff going in to get his ult almost about halfway done. Then it swaps out to Tao. Tao's entire job is just to pop her skill. Don't even worry about the outro. Like, I'm not even worried. I'm not even worried about the outro or anything, and then swap straight into Genshi and let her do her thing. And as you can see, she's not even fully built up either. Just let her do her thing and then pop right back to GN to where GN has a full alt bar with 2 momentums that since he is already level 6 summon, I get an extra 120% on Emerald Storm Finale that boom, it just all the DPS is just a buff. And then along with that 120% with her outro skill, because it's going to cause an outro skill, his alt damage for the next 14 seconds is going to get another additional 38% on top of it for 14 seconds unless he switched out. What I'm suggesting here is that for like, this might not be the best way you optimize your team. This is not a thing, but if you're like me and you're focusing mainly on just your DPSs, but you need to have that team and you need to have a supportive team that works with your DPS, but you don't have everything that you need. They're not fully leveled up. They're not fully stacked. Look at just making them tanks. Seriously. Like, I'm just going to put it like this. Look at making them energy regen hog tanks. And their entire job is just to do their job to buff up your DPS and send your DPS into war. They're not there to do damage. They're not there to do anything else other than just buff your DPS, come on the screen, couple of seconds, and swap out. That's it. And I think that, you know what? Instead of you trying to focus all your resources, because there's some people I've noticed that are trying to focus all their resources on their sub DPS, their supports, you know, to make their team as best as possible, just to play Tower Adversity. We've completed Tower Adversity like 2 or 3 times just because of doing this. We just focus on the DPS. We compliment the DPS. We say, you know what? You're no longer a person. You're property now. You are now armor. You are now a buff. Your job, I don't care. Your job is to heal. Your job is to make sure the healer fucking heals and fucking buffs the alt damage on my DPS. When it comes to, you know, on the team right here with Genshi, your job is to heal. Your job is to pop an alt every time you come on the screen to make it to where incandescence goes in 10 times faster. Ta-da. So, that's my video. Like I said, leave me a comment down below. If you agree, you disagree, you want to criticize me, by all means, I'm here. I'm good for it. And like I said, let's have an open conversation. This is my perspective so far. This is what's been working for me. Like I said, it may not be working for you on the way how you have things, but maybe for someone out there, it might work. And let me know if you do try it. Let me know about it. Tell me what the results that you have from it. Okay? Sorry for the long video. Didn't mean to make it 20 minutes. Wanted to make it shorter, but hey, got a little excited, didn't we? So you guys have a good one, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.